Bottom right corner from the Shopify Rebellion. The blue Terran player here in the quarterfinals, ByuN. Taking on the red Protoss in the top left, repping Storm Gaming. It's MaxPax. Alright then, first game of this series. Quarterfinals of today's Kung Fu Cup. Semi-finals are starting to be set. Showtime in dark. The bottom side is going to be the winner of this versus Ragnarok or Spirit, if I remember correctly off the top of my head. So it's all getting set at the moment here as we'll see what goes down over the early few minutes, over the next few moments in general. I'm excited, man. MaxPax ByuN, I think, is always fun. It's always such a hard one to figure out what's going to happen exactly, right? It's always such a hard one to kind of predict. There's a couple of refineries coming up. Our Gateway and Assimilator coming down. ByuN going to stick to these kind of double gas openers, similar to what he was doing against Hero in that previous round. So just sticking with the double gas openers, kind of going from there for now. Gateway coming up, our barracks coming online, SCV in production. So far, so good. Yes, epic zoom in on the gas mining. Very important. Wow, refineries must be super exciting. It is a cool building, man. Picking up the gas from one side, putting it back into the, thing for the worker to pick up. It's very cool. Whether it was worth the epic zoom in for the last 15 seconds, not quite convinced, but I guess what else is going on? There is a Reaper on the way. Barracks is just in the corner here. MaxPax spies that out quickly. Reaper will come over, pick off this probe, and the factory's already on the way up as well. So getting that factory up and online. We're going to start moving to the top left. As do you have our warp gate coming in, Stalker coming up, factory coming through, about to finish as well. Reactor on the way out. CC is building. See now Reaper hopping up, hopping down, really trying to decide what it wants to get up to here. As we're going to hop back up on this direction. Reaper getting a few shots off. Probe taking some damage. It's going to get a kill straight away, which is nice. Do you see MaxPax just opting for the Stargate, man? Stargates have been the way to play PvT, it seems like, today. You saw Hero mess around with the robot, but in general, feels like the Stargates have been a pretty big one. So we come across. Stalker coming up. Reaper off over to the side. We do have the Stargate and a couple of probes. Warp Gate as well, all coming out for the moment. Stalker still just chilling on this high ground. And the Reaper is going to come over and see what we can do. Wargate, Phoenix, all the good stuff coming up for the moment here, as we do have ourselves the Reaper is going to get the probe. Nice grab. Drops a grenade at the end as well. Just going to bop the other probes across for a little bit. Nicely done. This out still moving over to the sides. And just having ourselves as well the couple extra Marines coming out. The Winter Mines are building in. Medevac goes up the side. 3 Widow Mines in that Medevac. And then get a move along. Get going towards that top corner. Raven coming out. Siege Tank coming through. So far, so good, as our mines will drop off. Here's a little bit of pressure then to, first of all, force MaxPax to just move away with the probes. That alone is going to be some lost mining time. And as the Phoenix pop out, we seem to decide it's not worth trying to keep all the Widow Mines alive. Going to go chasing these other probes, which he's going to find one Reburrow again. You don't want to reburrow too many times, because there's going to be a point at which these Phoenix just lift the mines before they burrow, and then they don't get a shot. So good to just say, hey, look, we can get a couple of these already, and just, get the 2 probes while you can, Stalkers come over, Widow Mines picked off. Another barracks on the high ground, Cyclone's still coming through. And the Raven is still producing as well from ByuN on the bottom side of the map here, so. There's our Phoenix, trying to figure out what they can get done. Marines are here, Phoenix got turned around. Robo Base still coming up. Extra probes still coming up. Phoenix will try and dive into this main. Cyclone gets there. Locks onto the Phoenix immediately. Just seen a couple of barracks are still pushing through from ByuN, getting those numbers up. Finally, the Robo Bay as well. I think we kind of expected it, right? When you see the Phoenix being made, you know the Robo Bay is going to be part of this. Big difference, though, just compared to some of the TVPs we saw earlier. The speed at which MaxPax tries to get a third base while playing this Phoenix into Colossus style. Lifts the Cyclone to save a Phoenix. Loses a different Phoenix anyway. Arguably, that's even worse, because now you have one dead Phoenix and a half HP Phoenix. Beforehand, he had a full HP Phoenix and a dead Phoenix if he just let the original one die, so... Not that the HP makes a massive difference all the time, but it is somewhat noteworthy. It might make the difference down the line whether that Phoenix stays alive again or not, right? So, it's something to look at as our Cyclone comes over. Phoenix get locked onto. A couple of Marines coming over with it. And yeah, just Marauders, Marines, Stim, +1, all the good stuff being brought in right here. Combat shields also getting produced. Cyclone locks on immediately to those Phoenix, pushing them back a little. Phoenix back around to the south and just going to be chilling. Cyclone locks, Phoenix taking shots, is just going to get pushed away. Colossus, Phoenix, the extended thermal lands, all the good stuff. Obviously, ByuN doesn't really want to push out and create much of an issue or fight until his Stim and combat shields are done, so we're still just waiting on that. Phoenix out in the center, just going to be seeing our Colossus, extended thermal lance coming through, Stim, combat +1, all being brought into play. Our Marauders, our Marines. Continuing around as the Cyclone gets lifted. That's funny. He dropped the Cyclone so quickly that as ByuN A-clicked forward to get underneath the Phoenix, he actually clicked onto where the Cyclone dropped, I think. So as the Cyclone dropped, he just A-clicked his Cyclone down. I think that's what happened, right? Where the Phoenix just dropped the Cyclone, so it was suddenly where ByuN was just about to A-click to move forward. Raven gets a Matrix off. Colossus is going to get caught. Just going to see the Cyclone locking on. Phoenix get pushed back. Colossi will stand, pushing these Marines away. Just going to keep that Bioforce back. The Raven's up in the skies. The Medivacs too. Ghost Academy still coming up. A couple barracks are still producing. We'll begin to knock our way through this set of rocks. So opening up this space as the Marines actually get underneath the Phoenix for a little bit there. So getting through. A little bit of damage dealt. In the end, no one really wants to commit to the bigger fight or anything, so ByuN just falls back home. He hasn't got his third base down, right? Which is definitely something to look towards. Just going to have SCC flying across. There is the Nexus in the top right side from MaxPax as well, by the way, so he's going to try and take the fourth base there, which is not commonplace. The main reason for that, I think, is just mostly the fact that that's so spread apart from the main, so if you get dropped on the main and hit in the top right, that's such a large distance to cover. Phoenix pull back into the center. ByuN and Medivacs pulling back over to the right. See now Temple Archives about to finish. A few more probes coming up. Charge and +1 coming in. Results just going to be warping in there as well. Cyclone locks on. We nearly get rid of a Phoenix. Not quite in the end. We get a couple of the Ravens, however, so we do manage to grab a couple of those at the very tail end of this. Now just seeing the rest of the bio still coming through the center over to the left-hand side. Ghosts, Marines, continuing to produce. We do have ourselves the Phoenix and the Colossi still up north, and the Bioforce is coming over. Gonna knock down a probe, gonna knock down a pylon. Phoenix are just chilling, man. Waiting to help out with this fight. It's gonna be a big one. We've got 4 Colossi, man. The bio is just gonna start stimming forward. We do drop an EMP on the Phoenix, which is gonna help. A lot of SCVs dying on the other side. I just don't think ByuN's army has enough power to commit through here, but issue is forced because he's losing so many SCVs on the other side already. He has to do something. He kind of tries to turn it into a fight in the natural, but that's not going to work. GG, and MaxPax takes a pretty convincing engagement to just end. Down, as in the bottom right side, Blue Terran. This is going to be Shopify Rebellion's ByuN. Down a game, and looking to bounce back as he takes on the Red Protoss from Psystorm. Top left-hand corner, it is MaxPax. Nexus coming through, Chrono Boost coming along, Rax Gas all getting built. I'm just going to be seeing our gateway getting produced for the moment. A little bit of setup getting going. And, yeah, let's see where we go. Probe comes out to the left-hand side. Again, Rax SCV all coming through. Gateway's going to be finishing. Probe on the way up. All the good stuff for the early stages as we are waiting to see if ByuN can, of course, bring himself back in this round of 8. Win this, and you're into that semi-final. I'd say whoever wins this is probably a little favored, perhaps, in the semis. Not guaranteed. I think Ragnarok Spirit can absolutely take on a ByuN or a MaxPax. I would favor MaxPax or ByuN in that semi-final, so perhaps looking good to make a deeper run. CC drops down, Reaper is on the way. Nexus and the Cybercore continuing through as we do have our probe about to finish up. Pylon Assimilator continuing to produce. And our Pylon just finishing at the front as our Nexus will be about halfway done for the moment. So, coming through with all of that. Reaper hops up, Adept comes in, a couple of CCs on the way out. Reactor is finishing. ByuN playing this triple CC is very fun, right? There's going to be a very macro-oriented style here. Going to see the Reaper down the low ground. Going to grab a little probie there as well. It's just going to nab that, and now the Reaper gets chased, but it should get out of reach of the Adept, so is not going to go down, which is obviously wonderful. Marine's going to grab the Zealots, just going to knock that down straight away. Still our Warp Gate coming through, finishing shortly. And the Twilight Council also on the way up still. Bring that into play as well as a couple extra racks come through. Obviously, ByuN doesn't really want to see too much aggression before he gets set up onto those bio units. He's going to play without a factory here. So it is a little bit risky if MaxPax goes super aggressive on Blink, which right now, second gate coming up. If this turns into 4 gateways, I might be a bit worried for ByuN because yeah, the stim and stuff's going to come up quickly-ish, but obviously you still invest into that third CC first, so it's going to be a challenge. You can't afford to lose some SCVs because your third CC is so quick. I guess we'll see what's going to happen as our gates continue through. Our Blink, about halfway done. And this one Reaper here is going to hop up into the main base. Adept is immediately on top of that Reaper, which is going to get chased for the moment. Grenade drops. Probes get blasted. I'm just going to be seeing still the Blink and the Prism on the way out. Well, Stim just now starts. That's really the countdown. Not that Stim is like a be-all and end-all of this attack of MaxPax, but it definitely is a big help. Right? It's a big step in the right direction. A little bit of bio coming through the front. Just going to see our Stim, our combat shield continuing out. Seeing our Couple of Marauders and Marines still producing. And the Adept's one in the natural, one toward the main base. Bio pulls up. There's the Adept going to cancel that Shade and continue through. Still seeing that Blink just coming online as well as our Observer is coming in. But Blink being done means that it's time to get going. We'll see if ByuN can hold on. He's honestly not that far away from having Stim. The bunker at the front is going to be a bit of a dissuader, you know, to stop MaxPax kind of feeling really good to commit. And he's actually going to bring some Stalkers just to the main base immediately, try and split ByuN up. May not be a bad call when ByuN is purely kind of focused on the Bioforce. Stalkers Blink to get onto that mineral line ASAP. Lift up, we drop down. A couple of SCVs already go. Bio comes forward at the front, realizing this is maybe a chance to chase off some of these other units of MaxPax, and putting some reasonable effort into that. This Adept will fall. I just want to be careful you don't get overly committed. Right now you're bleeding off a few units, so ByuN trying to get something out of all that. As you do see, Marauders still dropping down, Stalker's still getting chased. Prism loads up, comes off to the side. Just going to be seeing a Starport dropping in. Concussor Shells the follow-up. We've got the upgrades now for ByuN, but he's got to use them sparingly until he's got Medivac. So it's definitely a step in the right direction. You know, a big blink in can be punished with that Stim. But you're definitely not, like I say, out of the water or, you know, clear just yet. You've still got a way to go. Couple shots. Orbital takes a lot of hits. Prism over to the side. Stalker still gathering. Charge is starting here from MaxPax. Again, that charge coming up. A few more Stalkers coming in. Prism going to load a few of those Stalkers to the high ground and help them to blink up here. And now has to evacuate them because the blink is on cooldown, of course, so the biostims across. And MaxPax, like I say, just transitioning behind this. The more time he can buy himself to transition, the nicer that will be for him. A few Stalkers will unload. Coming to the front, going to go after this bunker. Fighting those few Stalkers, just going to be seeing the Stalkers just getting pushed back into the center here. Well, ByuN pushes out. He gets his third CC down. Remember, he's had a high SCV count this entire time because the third base came down so quickly originally. So now he can finally use these this energy to mule up a fresh base. You don't want to mule your main on natural because you mine out those minerals so quickly. Then you have less patches to work with. Much better to kind of pull it out if you can. We have our Stalkers coming forward again. Bio will be there to push those Stalkers back. Zealots coming through. The few ByuNs just dropping off. These Zealots will not last long at all, and it's going to be seeing the Prism loading back up, heading off over the right-hand side again. First couple SCVs still taking damage as our Bio comes across. Prism loads up, gets out over the right-hand side. Dropping off one more time. First Zealot comes through, lifts back up. Seeing our Ghost Academy coming up, Medivacs, Marauders, Marine. All continuing to build right now as our Bioforce comes over. Stalkers will get shoved back to the upper left-hand corner. Our Ghost Academy now finishing up as well. So again, that Ghost Academy completed. We do see the Bio still coming through. A couple of these Zealots taking some hits. CC coming out, taking a lot of damage at the moment, but if you can get that fourth base up and running, ByuN's going to feel good. He's had to play a very passive game. He's been held back this entire time. MaxPax's going to try to see if he can push up. I don't think he has the numbers to really justify a push into the defensive position, although ByuN is pretty much purely Bio, very Marauder heavy, which is a good thing in some ways, but there's no supporting tanks or anything really here. Ghost Academy is up, Vikings are building, but none of this present on the map in terms of the units yet, so once they get there, yes, life will be a lot better. We're just not there yet, is the issue. Fire comes through, Stalkers get forced back. Has Sense Tower over on the side. I'm just going to be seeing still +2 attack, +1 armor. All three ghosts still being added in here. Our Bioforce just sitting on the top. Stalker still moving through. We're going to get rid of one of them straight away. You knock the Prism down on the right side. That's fantastic as well. Now you're negating some of MaxPax's options when it comes to being aggressive, right? If he can't really kind of get in there with Prism and so on. It's just less for you to worry about. Definitely puts you into a better state of mind. Definitely makes you feel pretty good about where things are at. I'll back down the right with those few Vikings. Fire comes over. Few Zealots already starting to drop, so 4 of those drop down immediately. And Ghost still gathering together as well. Bio still joining up. Just seeing our +2 attack, +1 armor. Disruptors, Zealots, extra robo facilities, all producing. So another scan just coming down. We do have our barracks continue to produce here. Ghost coming up, +2 armor still on the way. And ByuN just says, yeah, I'm going to defend. I can't get on the map. I can't do much here. So you gotta kind of, you know, just come on over to me. You come fight me right now. If you're pushing at me, I feel good. I'm happy about that. So yeah, ByuN's very accepting of MaxPax, you know, attacking into him, I'd say. Bio Force continues through the center. Bit of Bio on the upper right. Trying to think about just what we want to do. We spread out. We're going to go diving. Bio Force comes straight in. EMPs all across this. We are going to see Colossi again absolutely dove on. Zealots will start dropping as well. Man, this is a massive fight for ByuN. Those EMPs were just huge, and anything that runs in right now is running into a wall of DPS in that Bio count. Yeah, +2 attack obviously helped ByuN a lot there as well in terms of just melting everything MaxPax. Zealots are coming in from all sorts of directions. The first disruptor shot went the wrong way. It hit the top side of the wall. Not even sure what happened there, but that is just a quick way to lose the game as ByuN, he bided his time, and eventually he stored up the energy to just go past. All comes down to this one map. Big map for it as well. In the bottom left, our blue Terran player from the Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Up against the red Protoss in the top right corner from Psystorm. MaxPax. Alrighty then. A third map. A final map. A deciding map. Which of these two will see the semi-finals today? MaxPax has been so good in these Kung Fu Cups, man. He has been so consistently in the top 4, playing the third place match. It's kind of ridiculous. Like, there's barely a week goes by where he's not in the top 4. There's been a couple, obviously, 8 editions deep now, and obviously as well, just the fact the level of players in this event, there's always going to be times you miss out, but yeah, he has been maybe one of the most consistent. I wonder what he's at in points. The only thing he didn't really do for a long time was win one of these. I wonder where he's actually at in points. Give me a sec, guys. I'm going to do some scouting on the point board, because I feel like he should be one of the top players when it comes to the Kung Fu Cups, at least. I guess it's not a super... Yeah, okay, he actually is at the top points, even with the WTL points. I think he's... Even if you take his WTL points away, I think he's absolutely just in the top, so... Yeah. Listen to these results. Week 1, 3rd. Week 2, didn't finish. Week 3, 3rd. Week 4, 3rd. Week 5, 2nd. Week 6, 1st. And then Week 7 didn't finish in the points. It's kind of a bonkers set of results, man. The only man maybe doing better than him is Kua, who won a couple of these cups, Kung Fu Cup 2 and 3. Very fun. Yo, France, how you doing? Thank you so much for the 53-month resub. Cheering on ByuN today. Let's go, ByuN. Let's see if we can get it done. Let's see if we can have a Terran in the semi-finals. ByuN has also been okay in these cups. He made 3rd place last week. That was his best result yet. Actually skipped out a few of these, which is surprising for ByuN. Usually he plays in everything. So, yeah, ByuN skipping out on a couple of these. Maybe just not feeling it. Or maybe he was just busy on Wednesdays originally. So yeah, something else to kind of have a peek at. As we do get ourselves set up here. A couple Marines coming out, CC still building. And there is one in the corner. 3rd Command Center getting set up over there at the moment. Probably cancel the choice from MaxPax. We're going to go most likely blinking it up again. It could be a Dark Templar opening, just to really mix things up and to keep doing things differently game by game. It's not something that MaxPax shies away from. It can be very good even if you don't have success straight away. So definitely a couple things for us to watch out for in that regard. Definitely a couple of possibilities. As the Marines will go after that Adept. It just gets to shade out. Again, cracks coming up, Dark Shrine, Robo Facility all coming through. Dark Shrine just kind of made sense with the Robo timing especially. So yeah, get those DTs up early, and here's an interesting thing. ByuN's playing 3 racks. 3 racks is not typically very good when you talk about... 3 racks is not typically very good when you talk about playing against Dark Templar, because you obviously would really like to see some Raven action. You know, if you can have that Raven out, detection comes freely, that would typically be amazing, but... yeah, that's not really possible when you're playing 3 racks, so the engineering bay that ByuN currently has on the way is imperative. He needs some detection, he needs some turrets, and they are going to be pretty much bang on time, I think. Steps come over, Marine taking a shot or 2, nothing too crazy. I'm still making its way down to the south, and just going to be seeing the Adepts coming over here. 1 SCV is going to go down. Taking a second. Just going to see these couple of Adepts getting picked off as well. Okay, a couple of SCVs. The Marine finds the Prism, so you know where they're coming in from. Turrets are building. Okay, I said they're going to be bang on time. Not quite the case yet. Preemptive scan. Wow, I love it. I mean, he just wants to guarantee these DTs do not have a chance to do anything. Buy time for those turrets to get fully up. Scans on the natural too. That's a dead DT. He lost a single Marine. So far, this has been one of the best defenses you could have had. He's got another scan. Here's the thing. This is triple CC, so you have a lot of scans. You can actually afford to use these scans in a big way as well, because you have good economy anyway. MaxPax says, yeah, I'm giving up on this. You have so many scans. You have turrets up now. He's just going to morph the Archon and use the Archon as harassment instead. Great. I think a tale of 2 parts here, though. First of all, great zoning from ByuN. He was so good at making sure that Prism had a very little chance to drop into the main. It also great from MaxPax. He never lost track of the Prism. He never let it take too much damage. There was never a moment I was like, oh my god, the Prism! You know, like, MaxPax always had this pretty well controlled, so I think credit to him when it comes to making sure that this didn't turn into, potentially like a disastrous situation or anything. Splitting the Marines here is actually kind of important, because you do not want to have a situation where you have the Archons just basically soloing a whole bunch of your Marines. That would be disastrous. I'm still coming around the left-hand side. Gonna go dive into the main base. And the 2 Archons start to drop. Marauder getting chased back. The Marines as well. So they come chasing through. Prism gets pushed all the way out up the left-hand side. A couple of Archons getting shoved all the way out of that. Again, Blink about to finish up. Plus 1 upgrade joining it. That's going to be the follow-up. This is what you had to buy time for. When you commit to the DTs initially, you're giving up a lot of your other tech that you would typically have at this stage. So obviously this time now, buying enough time to get to Blink and things that will help you in the bigger, larger fights is extremely important. It's exactly what MaxPax has been able to do. So that's very good news for him. On a decent work account as well in comparison to ByuN. Still, ByuN sitting on a +1 attack upgrade lead. A few more Stalkers warping in beneath this Prism. And it looks like we probably have a bit of a push heading down to the south. Fire comes up, first Stalker going down, make it a double. If you have higher coming in, Stalkers get chased. And just going to be seeing the Prism is obviously being chased there as well. ByuN's current army with the stim and everything definitely looks pretty darn good. As we actually get rid of one of the tech units here, so nice catch. I mean, ByuN's army is kind of stranded if there was anything to really fight. Stalker still getting chased. Going to have, well, the attempted 4th base. Not going to be pushed into. I think ByuN's too low HP to really justify going any further, but still impressed by how far forward he was able to get at first. So I feel like that's been a pretty decent start. CT comes over, SCV goes down. Going to be seeing another SCV going down. First Mule taking a shot as well. Now a missile turret taking a couple of hits, and just seeing our Prism going to take some shots too. A couple of Marauders continuing in, and just seeing ourselves continue to fight this for the moment. Just going to be seeing the Zealots taking some shots. Extra Zealots warping in. I mean, pretty good defense from ByuN, really not allowing too much economy damage during this. This is extremely important. You do not want to let that eco damage start racking up, because that could be disastrous. And yeah, he makes sure to keep that, like I say, somewhat limited here. Make sure this is not going to get out of hand or anything like that. Yeah, a scan. Gonna call off an observer. Missile turret gets the warp prism here. Widowmine goes off. The Zealot goes down. He's going to grab a Zealot as well. I mean, a few SCVs dropping in general. I think ByuN doing fine. He is getting a counterattack going. SCVs have to pull the fight these Zealots. That's not pretty. Well, neither is the army of MaxPax, though. This is Zealot Stalker. There's the first Colossus popped out. It needs to come and join in this fight. First Widowmine gets killed. ByuN cannot get to the Colossus. It's too far away. Widowmines have already gone off. 20 SCVs going down. ByuN's taking some serious damage now. Can he not dive the Colossus? I actually think he could have gone there. I think he could have jumped on the Colossus. There was a moment where this is just Stalkers. Well, now the Colossus is on its own in the main base. Surely this is a chance to dive it. You're going to get the shields off of it. Now the Stalkers dive in. The ByuN's going to turn around. He's going to lift up and go again. No, he's going to leave. Oh, I don't think that's the right play. You're going to lose everything. Oh, ByuN is going to get knocked out. No Terran in the top 4 for us today. It's going to be a couple of ZVPs in the semifinals. Showtime versus Dark and MaxPax versus Ragnarok, because this one is done. Obviously, all the SCV damage and then losing that army is just going to be way too much. GG's. That is going to be MaxPax.